evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you to this 11th version of My Microinvest's crowdfunding evening, which was made possible thanks to our collaboration with BNP Paribas Fortis, who welcomes us today in this fantastic room at the Chancellerie here in Brussels. We also have about 3,000 people online that are following us for the moment. Tonight, you will be given the opportunity to invest into 4 different companies. Each of them is going to pitch their innovation, their new invention, for 5 minutes. And then all of you here tonight in the crowd in this room, but also online, will have the opportunity to ask your questions to the entrepreneur. How is this going to happen tonight? First, we'll have a small debate between 2 really interesting economists, Etienne de Callataÿ and Xavier Timmermans. Second, we will have the 4 presentation of the 4 companies. You can see the names online on the screen. It's Opinum, To Observe, Made and More, and the last company is called Full of Good. After that, for all of you who are present in this room tonight, we organize a little cocktail, some drinks, and the opportunity to meet with the entrepreneurs and ask them the questions you wouldn't have asked online. First, we are going to start with our debate tournament. Can I please ask Etienne de Callataÿ and Xavier Timmermans to join me on the stage? Please, can you give them a warm round of applause?
Don't let me go. Who cares what they
Hello,
say?
Etienne.
Who cares what they know?
So,
First name is free.
Etienne is a professor of economics at the University of Namur and also at the Catholic University of Louvain. And Xavier is the investment strategist at BNP Paribas Fortis. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Please sit down, as it's supposed to be a tournament. I suppose someone is going to bring us a microphone soon. And I prepared a couple of questions. Now, of course, you guys are economists, so I think that the questions we had prepared for you were rather technical, and I gave it a little bit of a human twist. What I will ask first is every one of you to introduce yourself, and we'll do it alphabetically, if you don't mind. So, Etienne, can I ask you to introduce yourself to the public here on stage and online?
Good evening. I am a candidate entrepreneur. That's what I have in mind tonight. And for the rest, I am indeed an economist, having served in the financial sector and for public administration for a long time.
Thank you. Xavier, can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Xavier Timmermans. I am an investment strategist with BNP Paribas Private Banking. I've done all my career in asset management and in particular in asset allocation. Classical assets, I must confess, not crowdfunding, but nevertheless, it's an asset allocation.
Thank you. Tonight, indeed, we're talking about alternative finance. And my first question will be the following. Can I ask anyone in this room or online to vote either for Etienne or for Xavier? Every time that you agree with what Etienne is saying, you tweet using the hashtag LiveCF, followed by a blank space, and then the 2 letters EC as in Etienne de Callataÿ. If you agree with what Xavier is saying, you tweet with the hashtag LiveCF, followed by a blank space, and the letters XT for Xavier Timmermans. You can also vote via SMS on the number that appears on the screen for the moment. And here is our first question. I will start with Xavier because Etienne just started before. What would you tell your son so that he'd become an entrepreneur today?
Well, I would say that there are many ways to have an exciting life. You can do extreme sport. You can drive your car faster than the speed limit. Or you can take some risks in your professional career. Honestly, I think the latter is the safer. If you dare to be entrepreneur and you fail, it's just an experience. You will be richer by this experience, and you have all the safety nets that our society provide, and nothing wrong will happen with you. While if you drive too fast, or if you have an accident doing extreme sports, it could be lethal, and at best you can spend the rest of your life in a wheelchair. So that's what I would say to my son.
Thank you. Etienne, what would you tell your son if he wanted to become an entrepreneur today?
I would tell him, given that being an entrepreneur is seen as taking a lot of risk, I would tell him that there is no greater risk on earth than to take the risk of having a boring life. So the risks are not where we think they are.
Thank you. And then, as you might know, I'm very keen on gender equality in entrepreneurship. I'm really proud tonight because on stage we will have 5 gentlemen and 3 ladies, which is already not bad. We're catching up. One of these days I will have 100% female presenters on stage here at My Microinvest. Fortunately, this will happen. And so my second question, and now I'm going to start with you, Etienne, is what would you tell your daughter so that she wants to become an entrepreneur today?
The politically correct answer would be exactly the same thing. I don't think it's meaningful to make a difference based on the gender on that score, or on any score, I would like to say. But if I had to add something, it would be that given that women are perceived as having more of this human touch, given that I am a very enthusiastic guy and a very optimistic guy, I'm pretty sure that in the future, having this human touch is definitely a plus in what you could do in any endeavor, and including in your startup projects.
Thank you, Etienne. And you, Xavier, what would you tell your daughter so that she gets convinced to become an entrepreneur today?
I would tell her that it's a challenge, it's very difficult. There are very few women who are entrepreneurs. I think that in Brussels there is only 5% of the working age women who are independent. It's very, very few. But what I appreciate is that they are sharing, they are helping each other. Women entrepreneurs tend to help each other, and and that's remarkable. They form a good community, and so I would advise her to live the experience for that.
Thank you very much. What I also hear a lot is that it's difficult to be an entrepreneur when you are a woman, because still today in our societies, the responsibility of raising the children is left to the woman in the couple. And I do believe that more modern couples will probably evolve to a better balance between the two. What I can note is the following, and I want to say that to any female person who would like to become an entrepreneur. I'm a widower. I lost my wife about 1.5 years ago to cancer, and I'm managing my 4 children on a day-to-day basis. They are 14, 15, 5, and 3. So I have a big collection, wide age range, all from the same mother and the same father, I hope. I didn't ask for the DNA test to check on that one. And frankly, it's true that it's about juggling, but at the end of the day, it's working. And so I really would like to encourage more and more women to join the ranks of entrepreneurs here in Belgium. Then there is the third question that I wanted to ask you, which is a little more surprising. With the graying of the population, I believe we are going to see more and more senior entrepreneurs create their own new initiatives in various parts of the economy. Etienne, what would you tell your mother so that she becomes an entrepreneur today?
I would tell her there is no age for having fun. And I would say that because I think that entrepreneurship is first a willingness to have fun.
Thank you. And you, Xavier, what would you tell your mom so that she becomes an entrepreneur and comes work at our incubator here at Co-Station in the center of Brussels with all these young guys in jeans?
I'm afraid my mother is probably a bit too old for that. But but a few years ago, I would have told her to consider this type of experience for the flexibility. And I think I'm looking to grey hairs, probably more relevant for our generation than the generation of our parents. But I think that when you arrive at a certain age, you like to share experience. You like the flexibility. You hate the reporting line of big organization. And being self-employed and leveraging on your experience, it could be very fulfilling as an end of career.
Thank you very much, Xavier. And the last question. The next question is a bit worrisome to me. I'm a bit nervous to ask it. So I want to make a little introduction before. There must be something here in Belgium that we do right. There are people coming from all around the globe to come live in Belgium. And some of them do create their companies. You know, there is this migrant crisis for the moment, where there are people basically crossing the Mediterranean Sea on very unsafe boats to come live in our countries. I have yet to see one of these boats leave from Italy and arrive in Africa full of Belgians who want to go live into Kenya or Somalia. I haven't seen that yet. So obviously there is something right that we do here in Belgium. If you had to encourage those migrants to actually create companies here in Belgium and become entrepreneurs today, what would you tell them?
Well, I don't know if we have a lot to tell them, because they are courageous. They took a difficult decision to leave their country. Obviously, they are the smarter among them. The smarter are leaving the first. And so what do we have to tell them? We
That's
have
what
to
I'm
be
asking
humble.
you.
They tend to exploit niches that still exist in our society. For example, they tend to take to work in very difficult sector, like food retail, like fast food, restaurant, and things like that, because there are opportunities there left by the Belgians, by the nationals, and and they start from that to build their business, as some are extremely successful.
Indeed.
So,
thank you very much.
my advice would be simply, just do what you want.
Just do it, exactly. Thank you very much. And you, Etienne, what would you tell a young migrant arriving or a freshly debarked migrant here in Belgium so that he becomes an entrepreneur today?
I would entrust him. Trust is fundamental. And I would tell him, you know, to be an entrepreneur, you have to be different. You are different. You come from a different place. This is not a problem. On the contrary, this is a great asset. So please, start, and I will help you so that you can start under good circumstances.
Thank you very much. And since I am who I am and that both of you have been working in the corporate world, then I have to be asking the corporate question. What would you do today to convince your colleagues in your previous position as economist at a bank that your colleagues become entrepreneurs today?
I would tell them that, as just said, confidence is very, very key. And so if you want to promote entrepreneurship, you need to create such a climate. And it means that you have to get rid of control and you have to move towards confidence. So I would tell them that at any stage within the organization, you have to trust more people and get rid of all those controls, those KPIs and those things which are against creativity. Today, scientists can show it that when you activate controls in your brain, you do not activate the area where you can generate creativity. So control means fear, means I protect my back, and it goes against creativity, while what we need in order to create value, to add value to society, is to let the creativity go.
So if I understand you correctly, what you mean is that scientists have defined that the portion of the brain that works correctly in a corporate environment is actually the portion of the brain that extinguishes the creative part of our brain.
It depends on which kind of boss you are, but if you do activate the part where people do feel that they are under stress, it is not the same part of the brain as the part of creativity. So if you want to promote creativity, you have to create a less stressful environment.
Thank you. And you, Xavier, what would you tell your colleagues today at BNP Paribas Fortis that they should do in order to create intrapreneurship, extrapreneurship, all these initiatives inside the corporate world that allow new ideas to blossom?
I think it had been very well said before. Self-confidence is the first step, daring after. And I fully agree. You need a certain climate, you need some support, you need help. And I think what's a key characteristics of entrepreneurs is the fact that they do not rely only on themselves. They ask help. And this is extremely important.
Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen. We are going to see what the result is of our poll. I can see that there is a little more opinion of people that are sharing Etienne's advice, but a lot of people are also appreciating Xavier's advice. Thank you very much for your help. Can I ask you now to join our board of jury? Please sit down, and I will let the tables be evacuated whilst I introduce a really important person. Tonight, if I want to create a gender equality and a gender balance in our show, I need a lady to join these two gentlemen. I would have preferred to have two ladies to join these two gentlemen. It will come. It's coming little by little. But I really want to salute the courage of the lady who is joining us tonight. Please welcome to stage Béatrice de Maillot. Clap, clap, clap.
Don't let me go. Who cares what they see? Who cares what they know? Your first name is free. Last name is down.
So we let Xavier and Etienne introduce themselves. So I will ask the same to Béatrice. Béatrice, can you please grab a microphone and introduce yourself? We can see that you are the co-founder and general manager of the Virtuology Academy, but you've had a really exciting life before being the founder of Virtuology. Please explain us a little bit about your background.
Thank you. So I have a background more in the big and corporate environments. I worked for Microsoft and before that for Telenet. But I was also consultant for Elle magazine, so for a female magazine, and to do the translation to digital. And also interesting for one of these projects here, I have a degree in nutrition. So it's interesting for me to see the project for the fresh juice. So thank you for inviting me.
Thank you very much, Béatrice. And we have a fourth member of the jury. And the fourth member of the jury, ladies and gentlemen, is you. You will have the same entitlement as any of the three persons present on stage today to ask questions to the entrepreneurs. Please do so. It's really easy to do it. And once you have been convinced by the various questions and the various answers that the entrepreneurs will give you, you always will have the opportunity to show support to our entrepreneurs by pledging an investment in their company. Pledging means what? It means it's a conditional promise. It's not an unconditional promise. You can change your mind. If you actually pledge an investment, we will send you all the various memorandum of investments, all the various prospectuses that are needed for you to make an educated decision. The last thing we want is for anyone in this room or for anyone online to make an emotional investment. Please make an educated investment. Spend your time reading the paperwork that we are sending you. Some of it is a little bit indigest, but it really is worth the time. With our team at My Micro Invest of 23 people, we put a lot of time, a lot of energy into the fabrication of these documents, in due diligencing the companies that we introduce you. So it's not a coincidence if they are there on stage today. It's the epitome of a rather complex process, of a rather complete process of due diligence and analysis. So please don't hesitate. If you think that a project is worth supporting, that it is helping our society evolve in the direction that you want, psychologically or philosophically, please pledge, and you will confirm or infirm your decision tomorrow. How do you do that? Either you are online and you're probably in front of your computer, so you go to the website www.mmilive.be, or you're here in the room with your mobile phone, your tablet, and some of you have laptop computers. Don't hesitate to use them and go online at www.mmilive.be. It's a mobile-friendly website where you can actually pledge an investment. We will then ask you for your email, and you will be sent a memorandum of investment or a prospectus, and based on that, you will confirm or not your investment. So today is about showing support to our entrepreneurs. You can see on the top right hand of the corner there where our entrepreneurs are. Some of them have been online a little longer than others, but you are going to see that all 4 projects are extremely exciting. Every time one of you in this room or online pledges an investment tonight, you will see these counters go up, and we will expect or not your confirmation in the following few days or weeks. You have no problem if you don't confirm. Nobody will harass you. We will not call you. We will not ask you to confirm your investment. We'll just send you the necessary information to make an educated decision.